Hello, Leo. Welcome back to Steampunk Psyche, where we talk about life, love, and relationships through the tarot. Like I always say, sometimes major and minor arcana line out with our day-to-day grind, and sometimes they do not. So don't hate the reader. In fact, leave some good comments for the reader. That'd be nice. Do keep in mind, I always place haiku poems right before your reading. So we're just going to do a general reading again, and we will find out what wants to shake loose in the cards. Okay, I'll give you the down low. We'll shuffle up and we'll get started. All right, if my camera will ever get started. Here we go. Ooh, hey, take it with a grain of glitter too. And for some of you, I'll give you the tea incoming. All right, I'll get this right, you guys. I promise. I'm going to go ahead and leave this in there because somehow I got switched up on my yeah, how about this? Give you the down low. Yay, it's working. And give it a second, it'll adjust. All right, Leo, what does the universe have in store for you today? We shall find out. What does the universe want Leo to know? Is it about life in general? Something that the universe wants to nudge at you? Is it about love? We shall find out. I've already pre-shuffled the cards, but for your sake, I'm going to shuffle up. Let's get this out here and talk about your current energy. Nice, Queen of Wands. Ooh, the devil's in play. Naughty. I like it. Anyway, crossing challenge. We'll talk about what's lying in the foundation, the Three of Cups. We'll talk about the recent past, the Two of Wands. We'll talk about the possibilities, Eight of Wands. The near future with Temperance. We'll talk about the self with the Ten of Cups. We'll talk about the environment with the Six of Pentacles. And we'll talk about the hopes, fears, wishes, and worries with the Fool. And we'll talk about the outcome and the direction with the Hanged Man. Leo, here are your new poems from Haiku Corner. And we'll get on this reading when I get back. Leo, Leo, Leo. I got an old 70s tune wanting to funk me up here. I want to kiss you all over and over again. I know I can't sing very good, but till the night closes in, somebody's got you on their mind. They got love songs flowing, whether that's 90s R&B or in the 20s or in the 70s. It doesn't matter. Whatever love song they're singing it. You've got them singing it. You're in your glow up, blow up. We're going to talk about this. If you're down for this, it's definitely a love reading. And it's got a little spice too. Got a little spice. We're going to talk about this. Let's look at it. Sorry, you guys. I'm just I like love readings. You know, I like it when it goes smooth, right? I know you do too. Queen of Wands. You know, this is Leo magnetism again, right? Definitely fire signs, right? Yeah, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire signs could be dealing with those in your current energy. Does not have to be the case. This is all about confidence, right? I feel like you are being seen. You are visible at this time, okay? Unapologetically, right? We could be talking about masculine energy here that is, you know, zooming in on your details. Perhaps you know this person. Perhaps this is somebody from the past. Could be. I do see this Three of Cups energy. But we also got this Fool. You know, we're going to talk about it, but I feel like maybe for some of you, this could be somebody is coming in your path, okay? Either way, somebody's replaying your, you know, they're replaying some pictures you posted in their minds late at night. Okie dokie, that's the truth. you're attracting kind of a new romantic type attention here, okay? And I don't feel like you are trying at all, especially with the fire or even the air signs, okay? Um, doesn't have to be the case, but it could be, right? So this could be like somebody you work around, or for some of you, we do got this pentacle energy over here. We'll talk about that too, but this could be somebody like I don't know, maybe you work around, or like if some of you got some side hustles going on. This is like a vendor, somebody you deal with, somebody you see. It's kind of been a flirtatious back and forth, yada yada. Not really serious. Well, at least you didn't think so, right? But anyway, could be somebody from your past too here. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. This has got testing the waters with you. This energy that's coming up here. Okay, someone from your past maybe seeing you. Maybe there's a little jealousy. We do have that. We do have that devil card, right? Capricorn energy, but not necessarily Capricorn, but just that Capricorn energy. Flirtatious, spunky. This is all about getting invited to gatherings, being involved, like the main character in the group chat, right? Or collaboration. We got the three of cups over here, so but I feel like I don't know, maybe this person just kind of gave you like a compliment here recently. I love your voice. I love how you laugh. I love, some way to let you know that they admire your confidence, right? They see that confidence in you. They may have just actually come outright and said that to you, or text you that, something like that. But I don't know. For some of you, this could be that you're just in that kind of like a I don't know, you're feeling artsy, you're feeling like I feel like writing, designing, for some of you it's just expressing yourself differently right now, okay? Some of you are like JT, I don't think so, man. I'm going to tell you why. This if it's not happening right now, I'm going to tell you it's happening within about 4 weeks from now. Okay? In less than 4 weeks, okay? I'm going to tell you about that when we get to that 8, but this is what I'm thinking here. So yeah, the masculine and feminine energies both. So the masculine has got that bold, hungry, I'm watching you closely, wanting to make a move on you. I do use those interchangeably. We don't have to be specific male, female, right? We have a balance of both. Y'all know that. And the feminine is I am feeling glorious, right? Radiant. I got that. I'm reclaiming my power. I'm drawing attention in effortlessly. I am black cat magic, Um, and I don't feel like there's any of this black cat magic that's vindictive or anything like that, trying to be controlling, or I don't think this is all about leaving thirst traps because you're in this magnetic glow at all. I'm saying that kind of with a wink, wink. Some of you might be, yeah, some of you might be throwing that shit out there like, look at this shot. Summertime's rolling around and we get them. You know what? I'm not even going to go there. I can't do it. But I just want to say stretch pants anyway, or yoga pants, whatever they call them nowadays. Back in the day, they called them stretch pants or something like that. But yep, looking good. Anyway, all right. I'm going to be soft on this next part, but there is temptation. This is all about obsession, right? Challenge. It's the devil, Capricorn energy. Um, Not to mean they're devils, but wink, wink again, because they have the tendency to be some uh, they're fire. They're fire. I'm just saying. But listen, this could be like a little bit of obsession or a pattern that kind of needs to be broken on your part too, right? There may be something in your way here, just kind of lingers a little bit. Whether we're talking about some kind of a, back past fragmented childhood traumas or some shit that just kind of keeps coming up. I feel very light with this devil though. I feel like what this is talking about is, a masculine energy that's kind of like, I'm down on your messages. I wish if you wouldn't be offended that I text you every 9 minutes. Once again, I'm gonna give you the wink, wink for the male. Every 9 minutes, we think about sex. Supposedly, it's a science thing. I have no idea. Maybe not. Anyway, a feminine energy is kind of like got that. Maybe feels jealous, a little competitive here. It does have a competitive energy, so the devil's not that bad, right? It's not that situation. It's just it can look like a past lover resurfacing. Maybe when you're about to move on, right? It's got a little temptation maybe to text someone, late at night when you should be, getting sleepy boogers forming in your eyes, but you're not because you're thinking about that person. It could be, just using like silence as a little bit of control here. So it does have like that, maybe a karmic kind of resurface, thing to test the growth, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like this is breaking cycles of mainly of just overgiving, that kind of situation. Okay. So it does have both, masculine and feminine energy, right? So the masculine energy, if you're wanting to know, would look like a possessive, kind of a jealous, maybe over sexually charged, if that's even possible. That just kind of hit me in the heart space. Anyway, the feminine would be like tempted, you know, curious, emotionally entangled. I can't even know how to say that. It doesn't even really feel like it's, yeah, you're the same way, you know, sexually charged. All right. Look, it's okay. But I feel like you're more aware of timing. You know, I think you're more aware of like any of the delays or the patterns that are maybe repeating here. Okay. And this is why we got this Three of Cups energy. This is your support system. Now, some of you, again, you may be like JT. I'm a lonely guy. I'm a lonely gal. I'm a lonely he, she, they. I'm not excluding anybody in this reading. I'm saying, look, yeah, okay, so you're a star seed. So you're the one in on your block, no friends, and you know, sometimes that can be a little challenging is to think that, you know, you're important in life, but I'm here to tell you, you are loved. Friend count doesn't make a fucking bit of difference. Sometimes you have to exclude yourself from other people's bullshit because they're unwilling to deal with themselves. I'm gonna keep going on the reading though. Sorry about that. I just had to say that. All right, but this could look like reconnecting with someone maybe you drifted away from. It could be, like I said before earlier, we were talking about that group chat, right? It's like something about that may be like a safe space for you. You know, maybe you've got your own YouTube channel or something like that, and you are speaking with your own tribe, with your own community, right? So it's got that kind of energy. This is like somebody flirting with you in a way that's kind of playful, you know, not in a serious way. All right. And I'm gonna guess because that devil card, I love that kind of flirting. That is so fun, even if it kind of just goes right on into the sexting. That's kind of fun too. I'm just saying that. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, why should I? You're my peoples. Look, if a past friend apologizes to you and explains their distance with this kind of energy, I feel like you're gonna be like, you know what, water under the bridge, right? Yeah, a coworker maybe. Surprised at how emotional, supportive you are for them. Maybe you guys didn't hit it off, you know, and then just one day you're out of the blue, like, you know what, you know, I think you're really good at what you do, blah, blah, blah. And they're like blown away, right? It's got that kind of energy. You know, you just want to act. It's got an acting kind of energy, celebration, right? Could be leading towards a romantic spark here as well. It's got both feminine and masculine energy. So the masculine energy, once again, kind of that playful teasing. I want to impress you, you know, and that feminine is just warm, open, and emotionally expressive. And that is sexy. I'm just going to say it right now, Fims. That is so sexy when you're emotionally open and willing. When you can let a, I got to bust in here again. When you can allow a male to express himself, even though it kind of has that hint of the sexual and it's all in the fun and play, that is just so erotic. Boy, yeah, yummy. Okay, let's get back on this recent past. Let's talk about this Two of Wands energy. For some of you, it's travel, right? It's I'm about to take a trip. I'm looking into the world, going, just close my eyes, put the pinprick into the globe where it lands. That's where I'll go. For others, it's kind of like look. I'm going to give you look. It's not a warning. Once again, okay, not a warning. This is all about being stuck between maybe a couple people or a couple of paths, right? Or a couple of future timelines here. And it's choices that you're making. It's stepping away from what's familiar. You notice, I don't know if you could see that or not. I could probably give you a closer up. But if you notice this wand, if I can get my wand right, it's pinned to the wall here. So what this kind of represents is that sometimes we have a tendency to stay grounded to what we know, right? We're kind of afraid to take a leap, to move out and away from the comfortable, that kind of thing. So I feel like this is maybe kind of like debating whether to stay or to walk away from someone. This could be about a job. This could be about, you know, I don't know, relocating your jobs, right? Having to move away and all the things that would, you know, be involved with that. You know, do I have the financial means to do this? Do I have, you know, the support group that necessary to step back up and feel comfortable and blah, 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 blah. You know, for some of you, this could be like, you know, I've drafted a message and I didn't send that son of a bitch because it may have been a little too much, not enough. I don't know. For others, this could be like, you know, you're wondering, you know, are we compatible? Is there something, you know, maybe you're wondering if you deserved more. I don't know. For some of you, you know you do, but I don't know. That could be a question, right? So it has both masculine, feminine energy, and the masculine energy is it's kind of indecisive, right? You're planning, but you're not acting. Okay. And the feminine is more in the waiting position, observing, emotionally cautious, just taking everything in, whether this, like I said, is a relationship or anything else. Okay. So just take what you need. It's all about proof, clarity, or truth coming to light here is what I feel like this is talking about, and it's anytime the weather changes. So as far as timing, as soon as the weather changes, there you go. Right. All right. We're going to talk about the possibilities. Now, this is what I was talking about. I got this 4 week. How did I get it? The number 8, right? In the minor arcana with the wands. Um, with the 8 of Wands, we're talking about fast, quick energy, moving quickly. This is also communication. This is anything from that text. This is anything from that person about to tell you something. It could be from that flirt to the job offer, all of those types of things, right? And what I'm getting at is that it's half the time, okay? The air is clear. There is nothing standing in the way. So I'm calling it in the 4 week time. So we're talking about, in or yeah, probably the end of Taurus. So around May 20th area, through, I don't know, the middle, I don't know, the ending of May, April 20 through May 20, something like that. Taurus Gemini season. Yeah. Anyway, but I had to look at the calendar. I apologize. But yeah, so I'm talking about something is about to come headed your way. Okay. Now, whether this is that flirtation or that situation that kind of like escalates, rapidly, whether this is that person that finally comes forward and says, hey, I was just jealous of hell of that other, fella, that other woman, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe somebody wants to talk that out, right? Get that over with. You receive some kind of unexpected great news here. I was about to say good, but I feel great. I feel like this is great news. Anyway, so it's both feminine energy, masculine energy. The masculine would be, it might come across impulsive, so pay attention. If you're the feminine in that situation, it might also come across as passionate, direct. Okay. And for the feminine, it would be like, you're going to get a lot of expression out of this. Okay. Body language, very open hearted and ready to talk. Okay. So you're going to know the sign, right? Anyway, someone's thinking of you, this could be like that time that music hits, right? Um, anyway, let's move on. We're going to talk about the near future. We have Temperance right off the bat, Sagittarius energy. You could be dealing with Sagittarius. It doesn't have to be. This is your near future situation. But we're talking about somebody no longer chasing here, right? The masculine energy is softening up, becoming way more consistent. The feminine energy, more patient, more grounded. Okay, and this could be talking about maybe some past wounds that kind of resurface. But I feel like this is all about the healing here. This is alchemizing. This is taking, past traumatic wounds. This is taking karmic lessons. And it's at the time where you're spiritually and grounded at the same time. Those things tend to start making sense. You start to see the light in the past, right? And so moving forward is got that blessing with it, right? So it's choosing peace over chaos here. you know, um, Spiritually protected for some of you, it feels that way. Just like you got a guardian angel. I don't know, just good luck and fortune, things like that have been, you've been getting the insights on things beforehand, that type of energy. Okay. Some of you got that ringing in the ears. I mean, that happens to me a lot. I listen. When that happens to me, I know I'm not the only one who feels that. And when it happens, I'm like, if it's in my right ear, I'm going masculine. My grandkitty baby's scratching at the door, y'all. So if you hear that, I apologize. If it's in my left ear, I'm like the feminine energy, but I'm always listening, right? All right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut it on your time, but hey, it's the way it goes, right? All right. So anyway, we were talking about some timing is going to be. This is about that emotional conversation, perhaps. Okay. Let's talk about the self. This self is beautiful. 10 of Cups. This is a future with someone, and it feels possible, right? This is the masculine energy in this is I see you as my baby girl, right? You the one. The feminine energy is I feel so safe to open up to you, and that is that affection, that is that emotion that the man just puts you in his arms, and not because you just snuck your way in there because that's what you needed. It's because he can't let you go, right? But it's you're ready for a stable relationship. Okay, that partner who chooses you daily. It's got comfort. It's got home. Building a life that feels like home, right? So, I think they're attracting emotionally those types of people. You have that with that Queen of Wands energy, right? So, no more of the half effort kind of connections in this energy, okay, alone. It's all about protection, emotionally invested. The feminine energy is definitely open hearted, got the nurturing and ready. I'm ready for real love. That kind of for some of you, you could resonate with the dove here. Okay. Some of you may actually have a tattoo of a dove. All right. It's all about peace, harmony, emotional clarity. Um, anyway, all right, let's move on. Let's talk about this environment. Six of Pentacles, still rolling with it. People around you want to give support, invest. They want to show up for you. And why? Because they are reciprocating back to you. We had that Three of Cups, remember? That Three of Cups earlier talked about. That's reciprocation, right? And this could be that friend group, that home group, family support, whatever it is. Some of you may be the lone wolf, so don't take this the wrong way. That's about showing up for yourself, okay? This is not, I'm alone, I don't have friends. You have yourself. That's what you're showing up as. The balance in the mix here, right? This could be talking about also that, for some of you with those side hustles, right? Expect more pay. Expect some kind of there's going to be some kind of a gift. In other words, like an opportunity for some of you to show your stuff, to get your work out there, to get your art, your music, whatever it is. That may be that situation. Okay. This could be also receiving a gift unexpectedly, right? This is all about that somebody's apologizing, finally with actions and not just their words, right? That friend that's going to become, more generous. We could be talking about maybe, I don't know, like a discount or a refund or something like that. Somebody's about to get, I don't know. Somebody wants to make something right here. I want to give, I want to receive. That's what this card represents, right? So it's supportive, reliable. For the feminine energy is definitely the nurturing, generous, very thoughtful kind of energy here. Okay. So, hey, keep an open mind. This is all about new opportunities and fresh energy entering into your life, Leo. All right. Hopes, fears, wishes, and worries. I love how this sits in the hand. In the spread, you have the Fool. This is all about the fresh start. Okay. I want to trust somebody new. This is moving away from being hurt anymore. It's the masculine energy. They want to take a leap. Maybe there's a little hesitation in that. The feminine energy, they want to open up, but maybe just a little bit of vulnerability, right? It's so you want to risk your heart. However, you're kind of got a fear of choosing wrong. But this is all about excitement. This is all about losing yourself again in love. It's all about, that clean slate, brand new opportunities, things coming in. Just remain in that, okay? And for some of you, this is going to look like hopeful, nervous, maybe a little impulsive, and that's that masculine energy. And you femmes, this has got cautious, curious, but I want to be emotionally brave. I want to, I'm ready to almost text that person's name and get the glitch in my screen so that my synchronicities are like just hammering left and right. This is the universe interrupting your routines, right? Just to get your attention. All right. So now, outcome and the direction, we got the Hanged Man. Really, this is all about a brand new perspective. And I feel like how it just could not have landed any better, Leo. You know, to go from the Fool right to the Hanged Man, that's what it's saying. Here, the Hanged Man's all about an intentional hanging. You did this to yourself because it's a new perspective. You've got a new perspective on life. You have been, some of you may have NDE, I don't know, a near deather, and just woke up. I mean, no disrespect in that whatsoever, but that is one way to look at it. Think about it. It's like a new perspective of life. This is an amazing energy here. This is the feminine energy, seeing the truth about a connection. It's the masculine energy, realizing that I misjudged you. I had no idea. This is that relationship pause that comes back stronger and better. This is the confession that changes everything. For some of you, it's getting rid of old patterns. We saw the devil card, right, as the crossing challenge, and that's okay. It's okay. That's good. Kudos to you if you're being challenged with some kind of, something that's held you back, whatever. But it's peace over chaos. This is all about the brand new awakening, the reflections on past, the intuition, the surrendering, becoming way more wise. This is beautiful. I feel like what this is all about is, you know, you begin this year stepping into your power, right? With that Queen of Wands, confident, visible, desired, and somebody who hesitated, they pulled back a little bit. But I think they understand now what they lost, right? There was some jealousy, there's some obsession, blah, 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 but you're no longer pulled into those kind of patterns. And so it's that choosing the peace over the balance, and you don't have to have that answer. You don't need to know, but something's coming in quickly. We saw that with the Eight of Wands, right? So there's definitely a breakthrough coming, and I feel like by the end of this year, there's a whole new perspective change that's coming, and I feel like it could be that relationship, it could be the finances. Excuse me. You had that all in the cards. So expect that to take place because I said so. That's why Steampunk Psyche does not lie. I don't lie. You're very beautiful and sexy. And even if you do, yeah, I'm not going to say that anymore. I'll get myself in trouble. I love you so much, Leo. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would you thumb it up, please? Anyway, that sounded beggy. I'm not going to beg you. You can do it if you want to. Anyway, I love you. I hope you got something from it. Confirmation, clarity for others. Anyway, I'll leave last week's reading right here. If you haven't checked it out, maybe it might resonate with you. If you're cross-watching, come into Steampunk Psyche. Check them out. Anyway, see you on the next readings, you guys. I love you. Bye.